all of a sudden feel like really on the
Oh.
spot, but that's okay. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to smooth this out and make it pretty. And that's a real quick way of making your slab pretty from the bottom going up. And what I'm going to do is on the outside, I'm going to prep my slab by keeping my needle tool at the same spot, and it just basically goes underneath, and that's how I score. It's really, really simple and fun too. So the idea is always to have your hand right here, and you just kind of score. If you're at home and you can't do this, then what's going to happen is you're just going to do your best to go around in the circle and have it rotate around you. People have been making coiled pots since the dawn of time, and in fact I'll probably throw up a couple of videos from Africa and indigenous countries like oh man, there's this one lady from India that moves a coil pot with her toes. It's really crazy. I'll find it. So anyway, this is what you have here to start. You have a slab with a very scored outer rim. And what we're going to do is we're going to put coils on. So first you have to figure out how to make a coil. So you want a good chunk of really soft clay. Okay, super soft. And you're going to take a coil or a chunk of clay, and you're going to make a potato. So this is a tiny potato, which are really good to eat because tinier potatoes are better than bigger potatoes. They're sweeter, better. Anyway, so you're going to turn that potato into a cucumber by squeezing it. So you're going to squeeze it a couple of times and circle it around, and you're going to turn it into a cucumber, okay? Then you're going to, I like to do the press and roll to turn it more coily. So I'm going to keep rotating this as I go. If you can't do the press and roll, then you can just do the squeeze from the center and turn it, squeeze from the center and turn it while you're making a coil. One thing that I don't recommend is taking your coil and pressing along the table with it. One, that dries out your coil. Two, you make this weird flat shape. So if you keep going and going and going, you make this, I'm gonna be elaborate and dramatic here. You make kind of like this flat side and rounded edge. And that's okay if you're going to build it all uniform, but the problem is that you're gonna have wonky looking coils that are uneven. This is a flat, whereas your hands are round. So if you want it to be really rounded, you do the squeeze and turn, squeeze and turn. So anyway, I'm gonna kind of get this a little bit smallish and show you a couple of options, okay? One being that, let's say you want to do something decorative. Well, what you can do is you can kind of lay it out and get it built up in such a way that you have something kind of decorationally awesome. Okay, you can make little dots if you want. You've seen these online, and there's some really good stuff out there. You can have a lot of fun with it, and if you so choose to do this, rock out. What I do is I try and work with the outer edge to make it look decorative, but then my inner edge, what I try to do is I try to attach it really well. So if you have a decorative unit like this, what I do is I make sure that it's from really, really soft clay. If it's really soft clay, then what I like to do is I like to take the back side and I like to smooth it down. I can do that either with my finger, okay, or a rib, and smooth that down. Then what I can do is So I can take it and do a quick score. And you can use those serrated ribs for like quicker scores than what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And then attach that sucker on by pushing down. And then you'll have a nice kind of cool looking thing here. Now what I want to do is direct you to where this attaches. What I like to do is I like to take a little bit of my clay and push it down, and then use some sort of tool, either a wood tool or my finger, to get that sucker on there. And that way you know that at least one side has been sewn, okay? If you are going on and just putting on a row and just keeping it really, really simple, that's cool too. So all you're going to do is just basically score along the one edge of your coil. You're going to slip it up on both sides. You're going to press it down. And again, on that inner circly edge, you're going to take it and take either a tool or your finger, and you're going to smooth that out just like that, okay? Now, let's talk about your template, because this template at least is, as I'm like looking at it, I'm noticing that I have to go outward. So what I'm going to do with my next coil would be to just build it so that my next coil builds a little bit further out, okay? And that way I can start following along with my pattern by holding it up and comparing it, which this is, you know, pretty cool. This clay is really soft, so, but I will say this, don't think that just because your clay is soft that it will attach automatically. Like, you do want to do at least a little bit of scoring and slipping with each unit or each level or each coil. So, and again, this is not the tool, the serrated rib is the tool. So when you go in, you're just going to do a quick slip up. We're going to place that down. If I want it to go out, I'm going to put it on the outside. If I want it to go straight up, I'm going to put it directly on top. If I want it to go in, I'm going to bring it inward a little bit, right? So now I have that going. I can attach it to my pieces. I can actually smooth out the inside if I want the inside smooth. I always push down on the inside and then across. And that will give me a really great attachment. If I want the outside to get covered up, let's say that I don't like the coil look, I can actually take that outside and I can get that smoothed out too. What I like to do on the outside is go upward if I want to coil in a smooth way. So I take it from the outside going up or along the inside going down. And you can do a combination. I like the way that smooth looks with coily, so there's a lot of fun stuff that you can do. You know what I mean? All right, do you think you got educated? Yeah? That's the gist to coil pots, pretty much, you know?